how to start a movement. And I think with a movement, it's a process. And I'm going to give you my exact form. As Brendan said, man, I've been able to have over 15 million people through the grace of God, through the grace of people supporting me. I don't know that many people in the world. So obviously it's people sharing my videos, but I've been doing this since 2009. And people always ask me, like, how have I built this platform? How have I built this community? How have I built this movement? And for me, I like to think of it as a movement, but I also like to think of it as a lifestyle, as a culture. And so as you're creating your movement, think about that. Think about it, man. How can I make this a lifestyle? How can I make this a culture, something I believe and stand on, something I live by, something I breathe? I have this saying in rehab time, and it reminds me every single day to keep living this lifestyle, to keep this movement going, to keep creating this culture. Live it, breathe it, be it. LB, be it. The thing about movement, and this is something that's very obvious and very common sense, but the thing about movement is that you can't create a movement without moving. I know that seems common sense. Listen, I'm the common sense speaker sometimes, right? But I want to really implement this in your heart, how simple this is, right? The journey isn't always simple, but the decision, the choice is simple. See, a lot of people want to create these massive movements online. A lot of people want to create this lifestyle, but they don't want to move, right? You want to live a lifestyle, but you don't want to live it. You want to create a culture, but you don't want to really live by the standards and values and rituals and morals that are set in place to actually live that culture. So if I can tell you anything, and I want to say this up front, these 5 words changed my life. And some of you know where I'm going with this. I say these words at the end of every single video, but if you want to start a movement, you got to realize these 5 words. It all starts with you. It starts with you. It starts at the foundational level of you. So we got to take ownership right now. I love dreaming. Dreaming is great. I love visualizing. It's incredible. But I don't want you to be stuck in a dream. I don't want you to think about movement and pray for movement and ask for movement, but you're not moving. So I want you to make a decision today to move on your ideas, right? Stop keeping those ideas to yourself. Stop being selfish. Give it to the world. Okay? I want you to move on that dream. I want you to move on that purpose, right? I want you to move in your best life, because anything that stands still, if you stand still, everything else will, right? I don't want you to just talk it. I really want you to live it. So the question I want to ask you right now, before we even get started in this, is what are you going to take ownership over your life today? And what are you going to really move in your life today? Maybe it's that project. Maybe it's that business plan. Maybe it's that vision board. Maybe it's actually acting on what you said you're going to do. Some of you know what I say, act, right? Actions, application creates transformation. So I need you to make a decision right now to say it all starts with me. Everybody in the chat, I want you to write it. It all starts with me. Where you go or don't go, it starts with you. The movement you choose to create or not create, it starts with you. It starts with you making the decision to say, you know what, I'm going to go move on my ideas. And I know that seems very simple, but the reason that I've got to where I'm at today and the things that Brendan said about me being a speaker and all these things, it's because I've acted on my ideas. And for you today, I don't want this to be an input of information. That's great. Information is awesome, but information is pointless if there's no output of action. So I want you to move, to give you some tactical things about creating a movement. So let's move forward. I live by this acronym, by this word, which is an acronym for me. And I'll always try to dive back into this acronym every time I'm trying to create something new. When I go back to 2009, when I first started, it was this acronym that changed everything for me. And the word is image. For me, image meant that holistically, I lived the life that I said I wanted to live, right? For me, it was image. And each letter of image stands for something. So I want to take you on this journey real quick. And I'm going to give you my 5 things that help me create a movement, help me continuously create this movement, help me be one of the biggest influencers in the world. I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back. It's just truth. And it's these simple things that I really live by and stood on. Okay, so number 1, in image, the I stands for innovation. Okay, innovation. In a world full of everybody else, I want you to really be the best person that you can be, which is yourself. Everybody in this world is taken. It's okay to learn from other people. It's okay to role model other people. It's okay to even take from other people. It's okay. But I want you to be innovative. Because we look out sometimes and we have these innovative ideas, we have these thoughts that we have never seen before in the marketplace, or we never seen the example in the world. We have all these things and we look out and we say, man, like, I don't see an example of what I want to do. And I think that's incredible, because that means that maybe you're the first to do it. That means that maybe it's taking you to actually be the trendsetter. That means that maybe it's you being the trailblazer. So when I got into this personal development space, I got to be real with you. I didn't really see examples of the way I wanted to bring it. They had excellent people out there, excellent people at them being them. They had their own lane, but I didn't see an example of what I wanted to do. And so what I did, I brought my truth to this marketplace. I brought my truth to this industry. And I say, you know what? I feel comfortable in being me. I brought some innovation. There wasn't a lot of people in 2009 doing lives like this, straight to the camera. I've been doing this since 2009 and 10. There wasn't a lot of people doing these things, just talking direct. So when I'm at virtual things, I'm at home because this is how I started. So I decided to be innovative, dare to be different, dare to be creative, dare to raise the bar. And a few questions I want to just ask you to sink in your soul. Why follow the trend when you have the ability to set your own? I want you to think about that for a moment. Why follow the crowd when you have the ability to make the crowd follow you? Right? Why walk in someone else's shadow when you have the ability to walk in your own light? Right? Am I saying don't become inspired? Absolutely not. But I want you to start tapping into that innovator mindset. Right? An innovator doesn't think, change who I am and I'll be accepted. We think, be true to who I am and make them accept me. An innovator doesn't think, fit in to be liked. We think, stand out to be loved. An innovator doesn't think results all the time, because I'm going to tell you right now, in order to start a movement, you got to operate in faith. You got to know that even when I can't see it moving, I know movement is taking place. Even when I can't see things really moving forward, I know things are actually moving forward. I know that really my reality just has to catch up to my faith. My reality just has to catch up to my ideas. My reality just has to catch up to the seed that I planted. I know at some point the harvest will take place. But the thing that I see with a lot of people that don't create movements is that they have this disease. And I didn't plan to talk about this today, but this has been on my mind. I actually told my son this yesterday. They have this disease, this syndrome. And the initials for this syndrome is called IGS. Okay. This is poison to your movement. This is poison to your lifestyle. This is poison to your culture. This is poison to your change. This is poison to your growth. This is poison to your success. And if you want to know what IGS stands for, it stands for instant gratification syndrome. Innovators don't have this. Culture changers don't have this. People that are successful, they don't have this. Maybe they have a little bit of it, but I see a world right now of instant gratification. So they don't even let the movement actually get going. They don't let the movement actually start. They quit when people don't show up to their events. They quit when they put out a video and there's 5 likes. They quit. You can't start a movement if you're always quitting. You can't start a movement if you're not being a finisher. You can't start a movement, and I know this sounds a little bit harsh, by being a professional quitter, by being a professional jumper. You know what a professional jumper is? You jump from one idea to the next and you never actually see things through. Right? So you got to be locked in and say, you know what? I'm going to have the delayed gratification mindset, the DGM, right? Not the IGS, the DGM, because I know that my movement is taking place. I know that my lifestyle is being created day by day, inch by inch, year by year, month by month. That's where innovators think.
This can be your day for personal growth. This can be that day you committed to and you remember and you go, that was the day I got myself a community. I got better coaches. I committed to making my life the absolute best that I could. This is that day. Make today your growth day. Click the button on this page and sign up right now.